This is Justin AMZN for Monday, May 24th, 2021. So we had a really nice gap up. It ran up for another 10, 15 minutes here, went sideways. I can select it, went sideways here for about 30 minutes, and then came right into the five. Actually came into the five here with a hammer, and then again here, and then bounced and ran up into this line. Now we've had this line on here for a while, so it was a great target to have with a bullish move. And then really we just went sideways, chopping through this. Like we've just been chopping for like 4 or more hours. We've only really seen some decent moves for the first hour, hour and a half, and then just sideways. So it's been, I mean, that's kind of been the norm lately. So the early morning is the right time to be looking for the setup to take. There are a couple opportunities here, either right out the gate. You know, it's gapping up. Let's see if we can uh, get a continued move higher up into I shouldn't say continued move because we were actually moving a little bit bearish, breaking down. So this was trapping some folks. So I guess this would be more of a reversing sort of gap. And where could it go from here? It could run up to this red line. I mean, it's a really easy target. So getting in kind of near the open price, you know, on a pullback, not the actual open. This candle was, the range was 250. So that's too much for our $100 risk. This candle, it was a hammer, came right back into this low. I'm sorry, into the open. Pretty much the same low here, 890, 895 on this one. Nearly $1 range, which was a really nice setup. One of my favorite setups is 10 by 9, and you basically could have gotten that set up with this, especially after this bearish candle came in and it held the 5 exponential here. Just getting into this at 10, which if you were hitting send as this candle closed, then you probably got a better fill. Well, maybe you got a fill at 995 if you sent it right at 9:10 Central Time. But anyway, 10 by 9 would have worked here with a target of 13 for 3 Rs. Should have filled in this candle. If it didn't, you held through a little bit of sideways here, but then it ultimately did push up and got up into the 13 price here. So it's a little bit further. You know, you might be worried it's going to roll over from here, but it's got such a bullish push here. It's trapping a bunch of bears from yesterday. At this point, it's still right below yesterday's high. So the high yesterday or Friday was 32.56.69. We just barely took that high out today up here. But at this point, it hadn't gone up to that high. So that was another good target to have. It's like, okay, let me get out before it gets up there, pushes up a little bit higher. And sure enough, once it took out that high, that was kind of the false breakout, and it came right back down. So you can see it pushed up a little bit higher, and then it totally rolled back down. And where did it come back down to? Just about $10. So this candle, which actually was kind of the breakout candle from this 30-minute consolidation, not on the 5-minute, but on the sorry, not on Amazon's 5-minute, but on the 3300 call. That was the low price. That was the support, $10, and we took that out into the close. So we'll see if we can get another gap up and get above the $10 price or come into $10 and see if we can turn this hammer into a continued bullish move. Or if we're going to consolidate a little bit more here. This is really looking like a triangle here. You got the purple line coming up as some support. You got the yellow line going slightly down as resistance, and it's just squeezing in here. We don't have a squeeze forming yet on the TTM squeeze, but I mean, it's definitely consolidating. The puts were losing value all day. Where you had kind of this consolidation near $10 and then kind of a bit of a gap up and a move higher here. I mean, this was barely any sort of move here, getting above this line. I mean, looking at the chart like this, it wasn't much, but it was a much more significant on the call where it moved up. That would have been good for a nice little scalp. And then it would have been a clear indication, don't be going bearish right here, as it put in a gap down. And even the 3150 put was really light volume at this point. It had started out much more expensive and just lost a ton of premium. Really didn't get much support going. I mean, it put in some lows here around like 586, something like that. Um, if it was going to roll over there. Uh, just like this was putting in some support at 10 and ultimately got a little bit of a push higher as we got the squeeze here. But that was short-lived. It pushed up a little bit. You did have an opportunity to get in at about 10. Let's see, 10, no, not quite 10, 10, 15. Oh, this low was 10. It's possible you could have been filled here at 10, but it wouldn't have hit the 13 target um, later in the day like this. So yeah, that was one thing I noticed with today, that it filled earlier, or the trade would have worked 10 by 9. The target of 13 worked earlier, but not later. It just consolidated for so long that it, lost some of that premium. It didn't have as good of a move as it pushed back up. And you can see with the put, even though you had a little bit of a move up, it was just losing a ton of value here. So we're headed into a holiday weekend. Sometimes there's lighter volume and you can see some bigger moves. Um, I don't know if we're going to have that. We're definitely consolidating. I was thinking we'd be a little more bearish and we'd push a little bit lower. This candle today has me wondering if we're actually going to push up a little bit more. We've consolidated right on here, and I think we set up a bigger pattern. Let me zoom out to the hourly and take a look at this again. Whoa, not what I meant to do. What? Sorry. Let's try that again. Okay. So no, it's too close. It's hard to see. Okay. So this looks like an inverted head and shoulders here. And we've almost, so we're back at this line, which just this portion is a double bottom. So we could totally continue up a bit, run into a neckline here. Let me draw what I'm thinking here. So this is kind of our neckline, like this. I'm going to draw it a little more sharply than going through here. So if you ignore this one a little bit, we're actually right at the neckline again. So this is the decision point. We should either continue on up like this, like an inverted head and shoulders. Hey, maybe we'll hit this X marks the spot over here. I don't know. Or we'll go up a little faster. I don't know. That would be interesting if we did that. What is this? No, Monday's a holiday. So if we did that this week, it would look something like this. If we just continue to run up. And again, this is an hourly chart. So yeah, this is really consolidated. We've had a lot of consolidation in here. We had a significant stair step that didn't continue. It actually broke down into a stair step here that went up. This is a little bit of a channel right through here. Let me draw it, or let me highlight it. Here's our channel. So we're just going sideways through here. It has definitely consolidated. We've made some lower highs from here, slightly from here. No, wait, this one was lower. No, this was higher. 32.59, 68 to today, 32.57.95. So this was slightly lower than this one. This was a higher low than this low. So we're consolidating a little bit, but it looks really boxy. It looks like someone drew just a square graph. And that would mean tomorrow we'll go back down and come back down to like 3,200 and then go sideways again for the rest of that day. That's what this kind of looks like. Has to do with like some different kind of wave pattern, electrical engineering wave patterns where you have, yeah, just a square graph. That's what this is looking like to me. So yeah, anyway, we're sitting right here on a neckline of an inverted head and shoulders. We are right on kind of a double bottom, kind of funny looking double bottom, where we actually had a dip here and then sideways, and then a dip here and then sideways. If we continue with this, we should have a dip and then go sideways. Dip and then come back up and go sideways. So this is looking like we'll go down tomorrow if we continue with this, just this portion. Nope, like this. This looks like we'll go back down like we did on Thursday. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. If we think bullish, if we gap up, we should trap a lot of bears, especially Friday's open and then today's close. So if we can even get a gap up to like 32.60, we'll trap bears in the last few days. Yeah, the last 4 days really. So, all right. Hope this helps. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.